This video goes out to all my haters. You guys are predominantly white liberals living in America under the age of 30. So, as a brown woman, I'm not brown, but I can claim that because my father's brown, and because my first language wasn't English, and because I'm not even from this country. My family is from another country. We're immigrants. We are all the things that you are so vehemently fighting for. Immigration, and everyone deserves to be here, and all the minorities have a right to speak. Well, I'm one of them. So now, white young liberals, be careful what you say next to me. Because if you start to harass me for my opinion as a child of an immigrant, if you start to harass me for my life experience on what we've lived and what we've gone through as immigrants from another country, escaping, seeking asylum, right? All the things that you guys fight so hard for, that's what my family did. So now tell me again how the next words I say, I don't have the right to say them. You are in direct conflict with everything you stand for as a liberal. On one end, you're going to preach that minorities, immigrants, people of color need to be heard, need to be protected, need to be able to seek asylum in the United States. And on the other hand, when I speak, you're going to tell me to shut my mouth. I have nothing to talk about. No one wants to hear what I have to say. So which is it, liberals? As a woman of an immigrant, as a child of an immigrant, as a grandchild of an immigrant who fled communism to seek America asylum, right? Which is it? Do I have the right to speak and tell my experience to the world? Or do you want me to silence myself because it goes against what you're preaching? Wow, interesting, because, Charlie Kirk was silenced for saying things that people didn't want. So, when I speak on my page, and I have liberals come here and try to school me on things about communism or Antifa or anything that my family's gone through that you will never experience as a white liberal living in your cushy little house drinking your little soy lattes. You're going to go to Starbucks and get your soy latte on the way to your Antifa rally. You think that's real communism? You're inventing shit to be mad about. You're inventing shit because your life is so lost. Your heart is so empty. You don't have God. You don't have Jesus. So all you can do is play a victim and scream at the world. This is Brian. He agrees with me. Brian, do we like fascists? No, right? Brian, are you smarter than a fascist? Yes, you are. You good boy. Brian's smarter than the average Antifa potato running around out there burning shit to the ground in the name of anti-fascism while they apply fascism to every single aspect of their lives. You don't agree with me? I'm going to burn your shit down. I'm going to break your shit. I'm going to find where you live. I'm going to harass you at your job until you agree with me because I'm not a fascist. I'm going to force my beliefs on you, and if you don't do it, you are going to suffer. Good job with anti-fascism, fascists. That sure it sounds a lot like my grandfather's village of Sopiki when the soldiers came in and first told them all, hey, we're going to help you guys. We're going to give you guys rations. We're going to protect you during the war. And they opened their homes up to these soldiers, and they gathered the trust of the white soldiers coming in, preaching love and unity, and then it was actually just a bait and switch to put communism into their village. And it worked. By the time my papu stood up and his family didn't like it and they started to want to claim their village back, it was too late. The soldiers had pretty much infiltrated everything and said, yeah, go ahead and try it. We're going to kill you. We're going to kill you. We're going to take your shit. We're going to take your home. We're going to take your women. We're going to rape. We're going to murder. And here's the other good part. You also can't worship your God. You can't worship Christianity or Christ in this village. And if you do it and we find any icons hidden in your house, you're going to get murdered for it. And they did. That was the actual catalyst of what sent my papu out through the dead of night and ran from the soldiers, because that night an entire family next door to him got murdered for their religious beliefs because someone in the village narked on them and told the soldiers that they were holding icons in their house, and they were all pulled out execution style and murdered one by one in front of my papu. And then his mom said, that's it, we're done, you're leaving. Y'all are insufferable. I'm telling you, as a child of an immigrant, as a grandchild of someone who fled real communism, these stories have been in my life since I was a child. I was there. I'm old. I was there when the Berlin Wall fell. I watched it on TV. And you know what happened? I didn't just watch it like spectators. We watched it and we cried. We cried for my grandfather who was there in the living room, and I dropped to my knees and opened my Bible and cried it. As a 6-year-old girl, I cried my eyes out because I knew something big was happening. I didn't quite understand it then, but I knew my papu was in so much pain. He was so happy because communism fell finally in his lifetime, and you guys are trying to bring it back. You know, I'm glad. I'm glad my papu isn't here to see this. I really am. I don't know what he would do. As a person who fled real communism and escaped to this amazing country, I don't know what my papu would do right now if he was still alive and seeing all this happening in his country that he loves so much, in America. He was so happy to be here, and you guys are ruining it. You guys are doing this. White liberals are doing this. You want the same fate as my papu in his village because you want that in here. And you know, that's not me just speculating. I am telling you, and you're not listening. As a person who fled the very thing you're trying to bring in this country, my family tried to escape what you're bringing here, but you're not listening. You're not listening. You want to dig your heels in and be stubborn because you want to be victims. You want to usher in something you think is so good because your media, your politicians have told you that. They have packaged communism as this wonderful thing, and you young people are so daft. You don't even understand what you're doing. You are going to be the cause for this country to undo because you won't listen to the people that have actually lived these things and are telling you they're bad. Stop it. You may hate Donald Trump, but he's literally the only thing right now keeping us from turning into my papu's village. And if you don't believe me, go talk to anybody who lives in a communist country and they'll tell you the same thing. But you won't. You'll just virtue signal. You'll just play a victim. You'll just act like you're fighting for these fights that don't exist. You're going to just try to assign yourself to any thing that you can scream about because you guys are so angry and vindictive and hateful in your hearts. You're not trying to spread peace and love and joy and trying to do things for people. You actually are spreading hate and divide because you won't listen. So I'll pray for you. But do me a favor. Keep the communist and Antifa talks to the grown-ups, to the people that have actually gone through it. Y'all have no leg to stand on. And if you're under the age of 30 and you're white and you're living in America, please just stop. You look like a damn idiot and everyone knows it. What are you, like, living in mom's house? You're going to go grab your latte on the way to your Antifa rally? You're so oppressed. Grow up.